start right at 6 o'clock. I am nothing if not prompt. Okay. I call this regular meeting of the Canton City Council to order on June the 18th, and I declare a quorum present with Councilwoman Henderson out, and she had a baby, what an excuse, and Milton, I'm sorry, you scooted down and you did. Of course, Mr. Milton's father died, and the funeral was this afternoon, and I don't know how many of you went, but it was very moving. Of course, was well known in the county, and he had worked in Dallas, and there were a lot of Dallas people who worked with him, a lot of county people. It was very moving. All right, if I ask you to please stand for the invocation, we have to stand for the pledges. Oh, Father God, we thank you for this opportunity that we have to come together as a civil body politic to discuss the things that affect our city. Lord, I ask that you give us wisdom, and I ask that you give this audience understanding, and know that we're all doing the best we can with what we have. Lord, I ask that you be with the Melton family tonight, and we give praises for the new little one that Mrs. Henderson has. We ask you to forgive us our many sins. In Lord's name we pray. Amen. Attention, pledge the American flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Two, pledge the Texas flag. Attention, salute, pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Well, it's good to see somebody at a council meeting for a while, and I know it's all because of these nice young people who are going to be getting their scholarships tonight. Right quickly, do I have any declarations regarding conflicts of interest? I don't have any on my desk. All right. So proclamations and announcements. Let's start with the goodie stuff. Money for our students. Do you have the microphone?
We'll have to meet Mr. Fox over there.
Oh, Mr. Close. All right. Every year we give away 4 scholarships from the city, and this is that time of year that we do that. So I'm going to start with our first scholarship recipient. This is a Rayford Hutcherson Memorial Scholarship. It's $4,000 total. That's $1,000 for each year a student is in college. And this year's Rayford Hutchinson Scholarship goes to Noe Mendanita Quiros. So if you'll come up here, we're going to embarrass you. The City of Canton is honored to present the 2024 Rayford Hutcherson Memorial Scholarship to Noe Mendanita Quiros. Noe is the son of Marcielo Mendanita and Bernardo Quiros. I'm sorry. He's number 1 in his class of 169 students with a GPA of 4.0. And Noe has been involved in National Honor Society, where he served as president, the Mighty Eagle Band, football, basketball, track, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and Interact Club. He is also an active member of Lead Bible Study in Old Bethel Missionary Baptist Church, and has volunteered for the White Beret Football Camp, Special Needs Christmas Party, and CES Pumpkin Patch, among others. He has received many academic awards, and CISD staff has described him as a student of superior intellect. Now he plans to attend Texas A&M University and pursue a degree in electrical engineering. Hold it down, peanut section over there. So congratulations and good luck. Thank you. Right, our second recipient tonight is the First Monday Scholarship. Again, this is $4,000 for a total of $1,000 over 4 years. And the City of Canton is honored to present the 2024 First Monday Scholarship to Haley Luce. Haley is the daughter of Leslie Luce and Brandon Luce and is graduating number 3 in her class with a 4.0 GPA. Now, how do they do that? Lots of work. She has participated in student council as president, National Honor Society as historian, varsity volleyball, varsity tennis, athletic training, student leadership, and fellowship of Christian athletes. She's also been involved in First Monday greeting and parking, Manna Food Bank, Challenger League basketball, Special Olympics, and Christmas cards for soldiers, and among others is a member of Old Bethel Baptist Church. Boy, they're going good down there in Old Bethel, aren't they? Haley has received many academic and athletic accolades throughout her high school career, and she was selected as Miss CHS by faculty. Oh, nice. She is described as a capable leader, influencing others with her confident, kind, and helpful nature. Haley plans to attend Texas A&M University as a public health major and become an aesthetic nurse. Congratulations and good luck, Haley. Thank you. Congratulations. On to number 3. This is the Sanitation Solutions Scholarship. It is $500 total. Sanitation Solutions is our trash pickup, and this was some of the agreements we did whenever they first came to Canton. The City of Canton is honored to present the 2024 Sanitation Solutions Scholarship to Logan Fagley. Logan is the son of Jason and Jennifer Knowles Fagley, and brother to twin Landon and his sister Kennedy. Logan is graduating with a GPA of 3.6808. He's participated in National Honor Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Interact Club, varsity baseball, varsity track, and lead Bible study. Outside of school, he has volunteered at Athens Life Fellowship Church, different football camps, and Manna Food Bank, as well as worked at First Monday for a Turf Pro, Elkin Bed and Breakfast, and clean pools during the summer. Logan received the basketball all-academic baseball all-academic honors in 2022-2023 and was chosen as Canton Rotary Club Student of the Month for February 2024. In 13 years of school, Logan has missed only 3 days. That's amazing. Okay. Your immune system is real good, isn't it? All righty. He plans to attend TJC in the fall for his basics and then transfer to or OSU or TCU and pursue aviation engineering or the medical field. Logan stated in his application that I am confident I will be a leader in society. I'm excited to see where God leads. Congratulations. All right, number 4, Sanitation Solutions Scholarship, $500 total for Peyton Bray. The City of Canton is honored to present the 2024 Sanitation Solutions Scholarship to Peyton Bray.
Yeah!
Peyton is the daughter of Jacob Bray and is graduating with a GPA of 94.0638. She has been a standout student athlete participating in varsity volleyball, basketball, softball, and track for 4 years at Canton High School. She's also been a Fellowship of Christian Athlete Leader, FFA member, Green Hand Chapter Secretary, and in Spanish Club. She attends Crossroads Church, is an active volunteer at local food banks, and in various community activities. She has received various academic and athletic awards, including Academic All-District in Sports for all 4 years, the FFA Green Hand and Lone Star Awards, and the Lone Star degree. Outside of school, Peyton works at the Upside Lemonade stand at First Money. I thought that was upside down. Okay, that's what I remember. It's the one that has the sign that's upside down. There we go. What? Okay. Outside of school, CHS staff state, we respect and value Peyton's character as being the model for other students on campus. Peyton plans to attend Texas A&M Commerce.
Yeah!
Woo! All right. Okay, TJC for her basics, smart economic move for your mom. And hopes to get, in her words, a decent paying job as a second grade teacher and enjoy what I do. Good luck on that. Congratulations. Oh, and I just got word, just before we came out here, that she's also received a baseball scholarship.
Yeah!
She was on the team that went to Austin. Yay!
Yay!
I have another one, but no money with it that I know of. This is from the Canton Fire Department proclamation, and it says Lieutenant Cunningham. What's your first name? What, Bill?
Billy.
Oh, Billy. There you are. I'm sorry. See you right there. Lieutenant Billy Cunningham has been a full-time firefighter with the Canton Fire Department since January 2018. However, he began his career as a certified firefighter in August of 2008. So that's been 10 years ago as a certified firefighter. Lieutenant Cunningham has always been on a path of studying in his profession, and the passion he holds for the service and those who he serves has always been a very high priority. Thus, Lieutenant Cunningham has studied himself into the current position he holds as lieutenant and takes the responsibility of leadership and performance very seriously. This is not to say he is an individual that is too serious. You can always depend on Lieutenant Cunningham to provide just the right touch of humor to bring a room into full-scale laughter. I want to hear stories about that. No, okay. All right. Lieutenant Cunningham is a very resourceful individual, and his accomplishments speak for his integrity and ethics for the fire service. Lieutenant Cunningham has recently added to his portfolio by completing the second Texas Fire Chief Certified Executive Program. This program required very intense research and studies, and multiple papers were written for evaluation. There are many hours dedicated towards the success of passing this course, so it is with great pleasure we present to you Chief Fire Executive Lieutenant Cunningham. All right, if our scholarship winners and their families want to leave, now is a good time to do so, and thank you and be successful in all your studies. Okay, there are some extra seats now if you would like to move to some of those.
Here in a second, if there's one available. You want to grab those two next to each other?
The time capsule dedication is going to be at 9:30 in front of City Hall here on July the 4th. You'll remember we opened the we had a Centennial and Sesame Centennial. The Centennial of First Monday capsule a few months back, and we have a better one. So in 50 years, whenever we're not there to remind them of what happened, hopefully all the stuff will still be in good shape. That'll be here 9:30 a.m. in front of City Hall. Austin Melton, where are you?
He's at the funeral.
I was at the funeral. Okay. Well, the committee I worked on, we set the parade at 10 a.m., but I got a flyer that said 10:30 a.m. Do you know which one is?
10:30.
10:30. Okay. What's the watermelon eating contest?
The mock
10?
It will start at 10.
Okay. Okay, so we got capsule buried again, watermelon eating contest at 10, and then the parade at 10:30. And of course, again, we're going to have fireworks at the west gate of First Monday. And this says, sunset. Now, it's a little bit after dark. Usually it's around a little bit after 9, it's good and dark, because you don't wanna see fireworks at sunset, because you can't see them, right? Okay. I'm on the wrong, I got another piece of paper here. I had some other announcements. Oh, here we go. Okay, I saw I've had some requests for suggestions that the city be audited. We are by law every year, and that audit will be presented next month at the July council meeting. So if that is a concern for you, I expect you to be here. And we will be starting budget workshops soon. July the 9th is the first one. Those are open to the public. You're welcome to come sit in.
That one is at
At
July
noon.
9th.
Okay, you don't get lunch, but I think we do, don't we? Oh, we better think about it. So, they will be going on off and on all the way through August. Now, these are workshops. They're about as exciting as watching paint dry, but you're certainly welcome to be here. Whenever the budget is all done, there will be a hearing on it where you will have an opportunity to speak on the budget, and that's usually sometimes towards the end of August. Let's see. The water's tasting funky because it's that time of year whenever we have to change over chlorine at the water department. I noticed mine was like really yuck, but it's a good thing. This chlorine is kind of like antibiotics. What happens when you take the same antibiotic forever? You become immune to it. So we have to change the different kinds of chlorines out to keep the cooties out of the water. So a little funky water for a little short time is a lot better than the alternative. Okay. Those are my notes. And I have something to read. I know most of you are here tonight. And hopefully this will answer a lot of your questions before we get into the public forum. This is the City of Canton, Texas statement on First Monday grounds and the litigation with the Lewis First Monday Incorporated. Due to misinformation that is currently circulating in social media and everywhere else, the city feels compelled to release this statement regarding the First Monday grounds and the decision to restrict entry at First Monday Main and West Gates to city vendors only. The decision to make these actions was made by the City Council only after extended negotiation with the first Lewis First Monday Incorporated failed, and following a lawsuit brought by Lewis First Monday Incorporated against the city, which was resolved in the city's favor. Now, do you understand that? Okay. The city did not sue Lewis. Lewis sued the city. That's been going around. It's wrong information. Also, these are notes. A lot of it comes from the actual legal paperwork. When Henry Lewis purchased the former Arbor's property around 2009, vendors for both the Lewis property and the city First Monday grounds entered at the city gates. Discussions took place between Mr. Lewis and the city, and the city expressed a desire for city vendors to enter at city gates and Mr. Lewis vendors to enter at Lewis gates. And this was in 2009. However, this proposal was rejected by Mr. Lewis, and he stated his preference that all traffic entered at city gates, so he did not have to provide staffing at his own gates. And this comes from our city note meetings. At the time, the city considered this to be a short-term arrangement, but the entry of all traffic through city man gates continued for almost 10 more years. In early 2018, the city, and this is almost 10 years after Mr. Lewis bought the Arbors, the city, noting illegal parking, traffic flow problems, and the need to hire additional city attendants caused by allowing access to the Lewis property through the main gate and the west gate, informed Mr. Lewis that only city vendors would be able to enter at these gates. Mr. Lewis proposed an alternative solution where the city gates would remain open, but with a Lewis employee who would check his vendors in and take care of any problems. City gate attendants could not direct these people to where their lots were on Lewis property, that kind of stuff. The city agreed. However, the Lewis employee came for only 2 months. Despite the absence of the Lewis employee, the status quo continued into 2022 when Lewis First Monday Incorporated, now Mr. Lewis died, and that's the new name of the property, placed signs on their grounds stating that the most direct road into their property from City Gate would be closed to vehicle traffic from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of First Monday. The city evaluated this change and noted that traffic bound for the Lewis property, which had previously traveled only a few hundred feet, would be routed through City First Monday grounds for about 1/2 mile. Realizing that this would only increase already significant traffic through First Monday at peak hours, the city opened a dialogue with Lewis First Monday Incorporated in an attempt to keep the existing conditions by having the Lewises reconsider closing their gates. Discussions were unsuccessful. However, on May 31st, 2022, the city sent a certified letter to Lewis First Monday stating that the city was willing to discuss and consider all alternatives and setting a July 31st, 2022 deadline. If matters were not resolved by that date, the city notified Lewis First Monday that it would consider closing its gates to non-city vendors. On July 18th, 2022, the city received an email from First Monday representatives, from Lewis First Monday representatives, informing the city that they had planned to proceed with closure of the route into their property anyway. On the same day, the city sent another letter highlighting Lewis First Monday available access to Highway 19, and again asking that the road not be closed. The July 31st, 2022 deadline was also raised again in that letter. Despite further efforts of the city to keep the access as it had been for years, all gates open to all vendors, but perhaps with the exception of getting some help, Lewis First Monday continued with the decision to close the entry during peak First Monday hours. The City Council took official action again in October 2022 to close its gates to only city visitors, or close its gates to Lewis visitors and allow in only city vendors. A November 10th, 2022 letter was sent informing Lewis First Monday that the closure would begin on January 2023, First Monday Trades Day. The City Council specifically chose this date so there would be no disruption to the holiday shopping season, and so that Lewis First Monday could give their vendors plenty of advance notice regarding the changes. Per a request from Lewis First Monday for extra time to inform their vendors and to finalize the text dot approval for a Highway 19 gate, City Council granted a further extension to February of 2023 for the city gate closure. Lewis First Monday obtained a permit from TxDOT allowing for a driveway for their property off Highway 19 on January 23rd, 2023. Having granted the extension, the city was surprised to learn that instead of notifying their vendors and opening the Highway 19 driveway, Lewis First Monday instead sued the city on January 30th, 2023, and 294th District Court of Van Zandt County, also called the trial court. After a hearing, Lewis First Monday obtained an injunction against the city so that the city gates restrictions could not take place. The city then appealed the decision to the 6th Court of Appeals at Texarkana. Just so you know, I'm an old teacher, there are 3 courts. You have your trial court, which is the district court here in Canton. Then you have an appeals court, which is in Texarkana. And then the next and final court is the Texas Supreme Court. The matter was briefed, and a 3-judge panel issued a decision on August 3rd, 2023, reversing the trial court's injunction and rendering a decision in favor of the city. The Lewis First Monday did then have the option of reappealing, that's all right, asking the appellate court to look at it again, kind of like, are you sure you made the right decision? The Lewis First Monday asked the appellate court to reconsider the decision, but the court denied their request. They then asked the Texas Supreme Court to hear the case. That request was denied on January 26, 2024. They then asked the Texas Supreme Court to reconsider their decision to not review the Sixth Court's decision in favor of the city. In other words, went back to the Supreme Court and said, "Sure you don't want to look at this again?" And they said no. That request was denied on April 5th, 2024, and on April 10th, the trial court, that's the one here in Van Zandt County, dismissed the Lewis lawsuit in accordance with the appeals court ruling. The city was thus able to immediately close the gates to city vendor traffic, close the gates except for city vendor traffic. But once again, the council made a decision to give Lewis First Monday time to inform their vendors of the coming change. On April 26, 2024, the city sent a certified letter to Lewis First Monday informing them of the trial court's dismissal, that's the one here in Van Zandt County, and letting them know that city gates would be closed beginning with the June 2024 Trade Days show. That was run about 6 weeks extra time. In closing, the city hopes that this statement sheds some light on the situation. The city was not the first to close its gates. Its response was made by the Lewis First Monday's closure of its entrance during peak First Monday hours. The city did not sue Lewis First Monday. Instead, it had attended many in-person meetings and written correspondences to urge Lewis First Monday to leave the entry at the status quo when it was sued by Lewis First Monday. As the Court of Appeals noted, the city's governmental duties include the evaluation and regulation of traffic and the promotion of the general welfare of the public use in the streets. The court also noted, and I quote from that court paper, "The record demonstrates that that restriction of the historic main gate to city vendors was made primarily for the purpose of keeping pedestrians safe and decreasing vehicular traffic. As a result, the decision primarily benefited the general public that swarms to the area during trades days," unquote, by the court. The city's decision was necessitated by Lewis First Monday's actions and was made in the interest of public safety and traffic control. Should anyone wish to view them, there are copies of the appellate court decision and the city's May 31st, 2022 and April 26, 2024 letters to Lewis First Monday available. Now, if you want this, we are a government entity and we have to abide by government laws having to do with public information. You will have to go to City Hall during regular office hours and fill out a public information request. I'm not real sure on the deadlines, but it's something like 10 days to, you know where that, no, there.
10 business days with a possible 5-day extension for this. I don't think that has to be applicable, so it should be
Okay.
in 10 business days.
So maybe like almost 3 weeks with 5 business days before you hear back. There is a cost for administration fees and for the copies, and I believe one of those decisions was what, about 50 pages? No, ish.
Yeah, and that's also available through on the Sixth Court of Appeals website directly, where you have to be downloaded there.
Okay.
Well, the city, if they wanted to, could also publish a link.
Okay, isn't there a link for, or a public information request on the website?
There is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, public information, the city has an online records.
Okay, so it's not instant. Now again, we are an entity, that's the way we have to do it. The Lewises are not, they may do something different on that. So that kind of sums up our side of the story. I can't say questions because this is not a hearing as such. Okay, we're to why many of you are here. If your answer was, or whatever you want to talk about was answered by this, I would, we would all appreciate you not speaking because we've already heard it before. And I want you to understand that this is a public forum, it is not a hearing. It is not to be, okay, this, citizen participation is not to be confused with a public hearing. A public hearing is a formal proceeding conducted for the purpose of discussing a specific topic. And I told you on the budget, when we get through the budget, there will be a hearing where you can talk specifically on the budget. At this time, we are not going to, everybody's not going to get 3 minutes. I'm going to mark it down to 2 minutes apiece because of the number of people, and we do have other business tonight. I believe there's 14 of you who have signed up. I'd like to remind you that if this is not a time for personal attacks, council members, and if necessary, I can cut you short there. I have a timer that I will be timing, so when your buzzer goes off, please obey the buzzer and zip it. And please remember, you are to remain civil. The council does have to be polite to you, but there is no requirement that they subject themselves to intimidation by rude speakers. So if you get rude, you get out of control, that's why we have policemen here, they will escort you out until you can contain yourself, and then you can come back in. Please understand, the council will not comment on what you have to say, nor will we take any action. But this is the way we do it. This is the way that is prescribed by law. So we will get on with that with the first person, and I'm not sure Crystal, okay, a couple of things before you come up here. Please be ready to come. I need you to state your name. First off, you're going to need to get with the microphone, and you're going to need to almost kiss it so that it can be sure that you were recorded. We need your name and your address, and it is not required, but I think the council will be interested to know whether you are a vendor or just a citizen, okay? So first is Jackie Hawthorne. You have 2 minutes. And I'll tell you when to go. Let me sure I've got everything going just right. Let's see. All right, you may start.
My name is Jackie Hawthorne. I have Hawthorne Fabrication. I'm a vendor at Canton in the Arbor 3 building. I think this,
You're a Lewis vendor then.
I'm sorry.
Are you a Lewis vendor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Reclaim your time.
The city of Canton is making a huge
I
mistake.
need your address, please.
Post Office Box 326, Emory, Texas 75440.
Okay.
The city of Canton is making a huge mistake barring off access to the Arbor 3 building. We load in and out with 4 full 30-foot car hauler trailer each and every month with the help of employees. After we load in and out, we always eat at the Taco Shack near the Paul Michaels building. Sometimes we eat at Dairy Palace. In addition, we also fill up our vehicles at Circle K and the new renovated Valero close to Highway 20. Hawthorne Fabrication has a rental warehouse in Canton that we stage a lot of our table designs at. The building works well to help us with loading in and out of the venue there at Lewis First Monday at Arbor 3. Hawthorne Tables draws a huge number of clients from not only the DFW Metroplex and the Tyler Longview area. We draw customers from all over Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Oklahoma, regularly. We have built and sold many of table designs to folks even in California and New York. These customers all come from our setup at the Canton Arbor 3 building. Restricting customers' access to set up with both seeing our designs and picking up is a big mistake. Hawthorne Fabrication takes pride at being one of the best vendors in Canton. When you folks barrier off access, it's over for us. And I can assure you, Hawthorne Fabrication will not be the only one with the city of Canton change, with many others that will follow.
Thank you, that's your time. And I gave you a few extras since we had a little trouble getting started. All right, Mr. Miller, Chris Miller. Gotta get all set up. and state your name and address.
I'm Chris Miller, 204 Still Glen Drive, Terrell, Texas. And I'm a vendor and a business owner in this city. And it's been a pleasure to find the city 4 years ago, and was initially drawn because of the First Monday grounds. It was exciting to bring my business here from out of state because of the First Monday and what it brought to my business. At a time when a lot of businesses were getting shut down, First Monday offered us a place where we could find customers, and we could be able to service them and grow our business and reposition ourselves for success in the community. And it's really hard, I brought a lot of vendors to First Monday, to the city, brought a lot of family members to the city of Canton, a lot of people that I have encouraged to come because of that, because I felt like we found a community that embraced vendors, that embraced business, that embraced small business specifically, which was oftentimes hard to find in the middle of 2020, obviously. When it was announced that this was going to be happening, I kind of didn't believe it. It was one of those things where it was like, hey, there's no way Canton is going to go against the vendors in terms of making it more difficult to do business in this city. I felt like we were a community that supported each other very well. And I've heard terms like Lewis side and city side thrown around by leadership, and that never felt the way that it was to me. It always felt like vendors felt like we were part of one community together. We never saw ourselves as vendor of Lewis or a vendor of city. We saw ourselves as vendors, small businesses trying to make a living and supporting each other and championing it on. Furthermore, I don't think a single person that visits First Monday ground looks at it that way either. When they come to shop, they come to visit the entire experience of Canton. That includes First Monday grounds and city grounds and Lewis grounds. To put up further barriers and blockades that make that harder to produce that environment, to me is a mistake. I've heard it said that it's for safety, but if that's the case, why are these safety barriers not being put up around the city grounds? I've heard it said it was for flow of traffic in and out, for setup. If that's the case,
Finish your sentence.
all right. If that's the case, again, why are they being restricted for that? And in the end, I just want us to pursue this as one entity, not multiple. It's what is charming about Canton.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Jane Ross. Please state your name and address, and then I'll tell you when to go.
Right. I'm Martha Jane Wallace.
You need to get that microphone down and listen.
Martha Jane Wallace, 3510 Pat Lane, Tyler, Texas, 75701.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Starr.
First and foremost, I wanted to thank the mayor and the members of the city council for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. I am Martha Jane Lewis Wallace, the oldest daughter of Henry and Martha Lewis. My father's picture is the second picture on the wall on the bottom row. Was mayor from 1972 to 1979, and he always wanted the very best for his beloved town. My goal as a partner in First Monday is to strive to make First Monday better for the city, the county, the vendors, and the citizens of Van Zandt County. This truly is a partnership, and when we make this our goal, everyone benefits, including the shoppers, the vendors, the grocery stores, the hotels, restaurants, gas stations, etc. My concern, though, is the ingress and egress for all of the vendors. Simply said, I feel that every vendor should have an easy access to their booth. I have managed Lewis First Monday for 25 years. That's 306 shows. We lost 2 due to COVID, and I have had the privilege of working alongside many vendors. They are a hardworking, dedicated bunch, in the words of my dad. And my entire focus is to make their experience as a vendor positive and as easy as possible, because we all know how hard it is each and every month to set up, tear down a booth without any additional complications. As published in the Canton Herald, the city of Canton is wanting to install bollards on the First Monday grounds. As a safety precaution, I would like to see the reports of all the accidents that have occurred where the bollards are being considered to be placed. Before a decision is made, I would like to make sure that it would not interfere with loading and unloading for all vendors, and make it easy for a shopper to pick up a purchase, and I would not want it to inhibit our drainage system. I would suggest we study this proposal and even compose a committee of city officials, city employees, vendors, regardless of where their booth is located, and concerned citizens of Van Zandt County in an effort to make First Monday Trades Day great again.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna call over the last name, I'm sorry. Tammy Battery? Is that close? Yes. Okay.
3900 Heritage Court, 76028. I'm a Canton Trade Days vendor. Current safety issues are non-existent except response time of first responders. Adding the balders will only extend the wait time, and we are questioning who's gonna be the one to remove the portable balders to allow first response equipment to come in. First responders, where are they gonna enter and exit? Boulders are also going to increase bone and head injuries from children and teens who are not monitored, being careless, attempting to jump, thinking of this as teenagers, how that can be. Truck and trailer entrance and exit will cause multiple traffic accidents, as multiple lanes will have to be utilized by any vendor pulling a 48-foot trailer. With the expanded setup times that we are going to be forced to do, it's also going to increase theft of merchandise, because we're going to have to abandon our product in order to try to get in and out of a timely manner without having extended bottlenecks of vendors attempting to come in and out. This will affect a lot of people who are handicapped. There's a lot of handicapped vendors. For them having to move their RVs or their vehicles, that's also going to be a hazard that needs to be addressed. Thank you for your time.
Lori Anderson?
I've released my time, I couldn't.
Did answer, okay,
Yes.
yes, just for the record, you didn't put your city or state, what town are you from?
I live in Canton.
Canton, okay, thank you. All right, then, next is, Tim Miller. You'll state your name and address, and I'll tell you when to start.
Tim Miller, P.O. Box 459, Canton 75103.
All right?
So, the bollard,
Yeah, oh, back on, all of you. Squad.
so the bollards were described as being needed for safety. And I was like, I'm a retired traffic engineer and I've done safety studies and so forth. I'm sure you've looked at it, and I'd like to know how many head versus car incidents happened over the years. And question, did those, and I know you're not answering me now, but it's for your future consideration. Were those instances only around the arbors? It seems odd that you're just focusing on arbors and preventing the access there. And I suspect there's very few incidents. And if they did occur, they were probably minor bumps and that kind of thing. If this action of installing bollards that prevents vendors from easily accessing the site in their shop location, if it was done on an open and unbiased manner, then supporting data should be available for public review. Obviously, there's great interest in seeing why and how this is being done and at what cost to the city budget. Thank you.
Okay, Robert Shoemate. Just say your name and address, and then I'll tell you when to go.
Robert Shoemate, 7503 Pine Wind Court, Humboldt, Texas, 77346.
All right, your name again?
I'm a vendor at First Monday, on the
Okay,
Lewis
get
side.
down into that microphone.
I'm a vendor at First Monday. You know, on the Lewis side, been a vendor for 30 years. My family started 30 years ago, out here on the Lewis side. I've also been a vendor on your side, at Marketplace, up on the mountain, at the Marketplace down here when David built it. There's not a spot here that I haven't been to. I had an entire speech written to cover a 3-minute span. But here's the gist of it. Water Code Section 11.086 of the Texas State Water Code. No person may divert or impound the natural flow of surface waters. Installing these bollards where you've chosen on your agenda to place them is going to do nothing but back water up further. It's been stated that they'll be placed 36 inches apart, 3 feet. A pallet is 46 inches wide at a minimum. You ever seen a pallet in a flood that gets on something? I did last month when it flooded. It stopped at the drain. I put my life at risk on the city side, on city property, to go clear the drain. There was no city employee to clear it. I did it myself. Placing the bollards on the backside of Pavilion 1, the permanent ones that are listed on your agenda, that keeps me from personally being able to get my truck and trailer behind my booth on Lewis property, because there's no access. The plan is for safety and to keep vehicles out. Then why put them along the property line behind Pavilion 1? I'll happily pay for a parking pass to go through the gate and get my truck and trailer back there. But placing those there, put vendors like Miss Bonnie, who happens to be 70-something years old, having to unload from between the two pavilions, pushing their product all the way across to set up, both on Thursday, breakdown on Sunday. At what point do we say enough is enough, and we come back to the negotiating table, both sides, not just one? I'm willing to sit there and help you both. Thank you.
Donna Dickinson. All right, state your name and address, and I'll tell you when to go.
Okay, my name is Dana Dickinson. I live at 1380 South Buffalo Street, Canton, Texas, 75103.
Okay.
I have been doing Canton since 1972, before there were any pavilions or any arbors. I moved down to, I was on at the corner of Road 3 and 4 for many, many years. I moved to Canton in 1976. I love living here. I hope I die here, but not soon. I don't understand all of the controversy. I think that we should all be working together to make this a better place. We don't want to kill the goose that laid the golden egg. Every business in Canton is benefited by First Monday Trades Days. In all the years I've traveled all over the country, I take First Monday schedules, pass them out. I hype my hometown market. I don't understand the Ballards things, blocking it off. I really don't understand how that can be a positive thing for a safety measure. I don't understand why it wasn't a safety problem when Juanita Hackney owned the arbors. I mean, I really don't understand all of this. I think we should be working together to make it for the benefit of everyone. We'd all be so much better off instead of working at cross angles. That's about all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Rochelle or Sean, Moncrief? Please say your first name for me so I can get it right.
It's Rashawn.
Well, that's close.
Yeah, you were close. Rashawn Moncrief, 802 Huddleston Court, Seawayville, Texas. I am a Lewis vendor, the newest of the Lewis vendors that is here. I've been in Canton for 3 years at the marketplace, and I moved down to the Browns for better business. And when I heard about the ballot today, you know, I feel like it's gonna defer customers from coming to some of our vendors, especially on the Hill. What I've noticed is that, it's hard, you know, getting them from the grounds up in there, and I was there advocating to get them up there. I've been doing this for 35 years. I know I look young, but I am 50 years old. With that being said, the elderly also they're not gonna have access. Y'all put up those ballards, and people come by the truckloads with their own scooters. They don't rent out some of those scooters, they have their own. How they're gonna get to through those barricades, they look very narrow. And if they can't get through, they come with families. So they come with a load of family who cannot get through. Guess who loses money? Us vendors. Because now that family can't get through my store because their mom can't get through with their scooter, which hurts my business. If my business get hurt, then I'm going to leave. So I know that other vendors will as well. And if you think that's a safety to where it's gonna help us, it's gonna hurt the city. If the city lose money, if y'all lose us, we're your heartbeat. So continue to have your heartbeat and to keep it pumping. If you kill us off, it's gonna stop.
Catherine Lewis. Name and address, and now so you can go.
My name is Catherine Irwin, 8203 Glen Lane, Canton, Texas, 75103.
Pardon me, I don't know where this says Irwin, but I read Lewis. You tell how long I've been listening.
You can tell me when to start.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We acknowledge, our family acknowledges the court decision about us not being able to.
Can you get a little bit closer to the mic?
Yes, ma'am. Our family acknowledges and honors the court decision about us not being able to access the historic main gate. The reason I'm here tonight is to gain understanding about the safety of the bollards that are proposed to be going in. So the bollards will be in a FEMA recognized floodway, and the displacement and diversion will contribute to flooding. Has the city obtained a FEMA no-rise flood certificate? As well, the barrier will create a single fall exit, causing traffic backup during load in and load out for the vendors of Pavilion 1, Arbor 1, and Arbor 3. I don't think any of the city vendors will be affected by these bollards. This causes a significant disadvantage for over 120 vendors. And just why should this be? I've made several attempts to meet with Mr. Clark regarding the bollard barrier over this with no response. Communication needs to be ahead of these major decisions. We need to stand together to make the market as strong as we possibly can. Our town is truly blessed with a great resource of First Monday. As elected officials, you have been entrusted with a sacred privilege of making decisions and policies for the good of the people. How will this bollard barrier help in that endeavor? In closing, I believe that making a historic and permanent decision to build divisive barriers will damage the market and its legacy. The action by the city sets a sad precedent to the power of government discouraging economic growth using our tax dollars. We can't allow this to happen. Let's continue with a legacy of goodwill and neighborly conduct that will affect future generations. Please reconsider the decision to erect any bollard, whether permanent or not. Thank you.
Let's see,
Reeves.
Okay.
My name is Leslie Reeves, and I live at 110 Private Road, 8119 in Canton. Okay. I too have written 3-minute statements, so I'm gonna talk really fast. I'm not here in the same capacity as everyone else. I'm a part owner of Old Mill Marketplace, and it's in that capacity that I'm standing in front of you. Almost 2 years ago, our company submitted a plan for approval for a plan development zoning change request. It actually took a letter from our attorney after 1.5 years to get a response from the city. And only at that time were we told that we weren't approved and we were not given, we didn't receive an official correspondence in the mail. We didn't know why we weren't approved, but then we were given a list of requirements in order to receive a zoning change. For everybody who doesn't know in this audience, if you're in First Monday zoning, you're only allowed to be open during First Monday essentially, which puts a stranglehold on us. Everybody knows our property has had a lot of issues overcoming the fires, and we just needed to get some more money going. And we lost potential renters to the tune of $12,000 because the city was not flexible in allowing us to have off-market renters. One of whom was a CrossFit company. They would in no way harm the integrity of First Monday trade days. Additionally, the city has, while having this stranglehold on us and not requesting our zoning change, has also offered us very lowball offers for our property.
I'm sorry, I thought I had the text cut off. Keep going.
We just want to survive and thrive and have added value to this community, and in order to do that, we feel that we should be afforded the same opportunities that our neighbor to the immediate west, who happens to sit on the city council, was given when he was granted a First Monday zoning change. and we can't really tell that he did anything any differently than what we have going on right now. So, thank you.
And I gave a little bit of extra time because of the interference. All right, Kelly Allen.
I will give up my time, thank you.
Okay, well, you were the last one, so that time, I want to commend this crowd on, how polite you've been, and we've had this really good back and forth. We will certainly talk about at running code, but we will consider what you told us. Thank you for coming. If you would like to leave now, I'm gonna give us like a 5-minute break, and if you wanna stay for the rest of the meeting, you're welcome to.
No back.